Now, what I want to introduce today should be the beginning. Every person created by God was created to be a leader. Every person created by God was created to be a leader. Are we together? We are created to be a leader. Let me talk a little religiously before we come to this identity and definition. In the Bible, you hear God talking about, I sought for a man. I sought for a man among them. I hear Satan also saying, I have a man. Bring a man. I hear men also saying, I don't have a man. Have you ever at any time in life cry from your heart, say, I don't get person? Is it really true that you don't have relations? Is it true that you don't have a family members? Or you don't have friends or church members? But you look at yourself and say, I don't have a man. I don't have a person. Or not to you, deep down in your heart, you were crying for somebody who will lead you, who will lift you up. Are we together? Somehow, there is a way you want to go in life. There's a course you want to chart in life. And you needed somebody either to give you a direction or to give you a push. But you have been thinking, you have been searching, you have not found the right person who will give you that direction, who will give you that support. You tried over and over and over and over. You have read, you have searched, you have related with people. You have not found a person who will meet that need in your life to give you a direction. Are we together? Do you know what was the cry of your heart, the cry of your spirit was for leadership? Have you ever attended even a party or a ceremony? You see somebody made a speech, or somebody just walk past you like this, or somebody just come out of his car like this, or somebody just dance one kind. Your heart will be drawn to the person as if that person should be your friend. Your heart has your heart ever been drawn to a stranger somewhere? Are we together? Your heart is just drawn to somebody. Somehow, a vacuum in your life was being filled by that person. The greatest cry on earth here is for leadership, because God created us for leadership. So over and over, God will be saying, I am looking for a man. I sought for a man. I sought for a man. What was God saying? I'm looking for a man that will lead. Take the lead. He said, if I see a man, I won't destroy this world. If I see a correct leader, if I see a man, I'm looking for a man. There was a battle between Israel and the Philistines. Israel had a king. They have army captains, but there was no man. The Philistines, they had army, they had a king. The king didn't lead them to war. Somebody else led them to war. Goliath. And Goliath said, I am a man. When my people see me, they are confident. When they see me, they move. When I retreat, they retreat. If you kill me now, they will run, because they will lack a leader. If you kill me now, all my people will run. You overthrow them. But as I'm standing, my people are standing. If I move now, my people will move. He wasn't the king. Was Goliath a king? He wasn't the king. So he challenged Israel. He said, I am a man. Bring a man. He was seeing the king of Israel, Saul. Saul was, the Bible said, he was a foot taller than every person in Israel. He was the tallest man in Israel. Very handsome. Very handsome. Wealthy. Able to fight. But he wasn't a correct leader. He was not a correct leader. Goliath said, as I look at all of you, you don't have a man. If you have a man, bring a man. Even the king of my place and all the captains of the army, they have brought me out as their man. I'm the one leading them. The king was not the one leading them. He was leading them. Are we together? Say, I'm the one leading them. Bring a man who will lead you. Then let us face each other, leader to leader. Unknown to him, God said, I have found a man. The man was not big. He wasn't a giant. He was not a foot taller than every person. He was not older than everybody. He was not even trained in warfare. He was inexperienced, but in him was a man. In him was a leader. Makes him a leader. What makes the man the leader that God will say, I have found a man after my own heart? What did God see in the man? So we'll look at some things quickly. You know what we call leadership? What we call leadership is not actually leadership. People will call leaders are not true leaders. Am I communicating this morning? A leader or leadership is not by title. We think that a title holder is a leader. The general overseer, the bishop, the MD. Those are not the real leaders. Title don't make a man a leader. I'll tell you. I will show you later. Are we together? Title. You know, people struggle for title, want to get title. I see pastors who were pastors, they want to become reverend, they want to become venerable, they want to become bishop, then they will become archbishop, they will put on one kind of dress and all of that so that people will respect them. It doesn't make them leaders. I attended a meeting where a friend of mine was being consecrated as a bishop. And see the council of bishops, house of bishops in Warrior. I was surprised that so many bishops are in this Warrior. There are many. I sat at the back. I don't want to join big men. Then when they have consecrated him, some big men were going out. I just went out. I want to drive out. And the man approached me and said, "Can I join you?" I said, "Yes." He said, "You are bishop what?" I said, "I'm not a bishop." "Apostle what?" I said, "I'm not an apostle." As it was, I have to save him the energy of the questions and all this thing. I just quickly interrupted. I said, "See, I said, I'm not a bishop. It's not bad for you to be a bishop or an apostle." I said, "I don't want to be one." I said, "What I want to be is this. I want to discover the purpose why God brought me to planet Earth. Discover it, develop it, and see how I can apply it to the glory of God, to my benefit, and to impact mankind." I said, "That's what I'm searching for." I just made a few statements. He said, "I will invite you to my church to come and teach people." He said, "Where? With the light title, with the light bishop." He said, "But I say, this bishop said not mean anything." He said, just a few sentences I made, he was overwhelmed. I said, "I'm not against you holding title or not. I say if the title makes you to accomplish, helps you to accomplish the will of God, good. But what is essential is for you to discover why God brought you to planet Earth here. Develop the purpose why God brought you here, and then harness it to both your benefit, glory of God, and to impact men." I say, and that is the cause I am fighting. And that is what I will fight all my life long. You know, he said, "Oh, God, you need to come to our church." He said, "You need to teach us." He said, "All of us, when with the like title for this side of the world, and he said, "It will not be by title." Leadership is not by title. Can you agree with me? It's not by title. It doesn't mean that a leader cannot have a title. Take notes. It does not mean, don't condemn a man that has a title. But it is not a title that makes a man a leader. There is something more than that. That's where we are going to today. Identity and definition. There is something more than title. Leadership also is not entitlement. It is not an entitlement. An MD of a company pass on, his son takes over. Doesn't make the son a leader. Entitlement does not make a person a leader. Inheritance doesn't make a person a leader. A general overseer is retiring, then the assistant general overseer, by the constitution of the ministry, has to step into the shoes of the general overseer. Doesn't make him a leader. Are we together? Doesn't make him a leader. Entitlement doesn't make a man a leader. Position also don't make a man a leader. There are things that we think are leaders that make people leaders. They are not. Before I continue with the list of what is not, those who are not leaders, or what doesn't make people leaders, do you know that somebody, by our own judgment, normal judgment, the head of every organization is the leader of the organization, right? But you find out that there is somebody in that organization that influences people more. Are we together? For instance, a bishop who oversees a church is highly respected by his position, and by the constitution is the one that takes the final decision, right? But you find out that there is somebody in that church who just come to lead prayer only 30 minutes. Everybody is happy. Somebody just come to lead prayer for later. If the whole congregation know that that person was going to lead prayer in prayer that day, everybody want to listen, want to be part of the service that day. Do you understand? The bishop can lead prayer. People will respect it. They will honor it. They will be there. But they will not have the flow like this particular person I'm talking about. Are we together? There is somebody inside the organization, that religious organization, that comes to preach like this. Everybody wants to listen. Everybody is seeing revelation. Everybody is catching revelation. Everybody is getting information. Do you understand? The head of the organization will come to preach. We will respect him and listen. But you hear people say, when that brother preach, when that sister preach, I like the message. God, there are always revelations. There are always revelations. So the man who occupied the position of the head of the organization really is not a leader. So position do not make people leaders. However, a leader can also occupy a position, but the position doesn't make leaders. Did you understand what I'm saying? Yes. A leader can occupy a position, but occupying a position doesn't guarantee that the occupant is a leader. Now, management does not make somebody a leader too. Ability to manage. We have managers in different companies. What makes managers? They promote people to become managers, or they go for study. They learn to become managers. Are we together? Yes. Several factors determine who becomes a manager. So Being a manager does not really mean that somebody is a leader. Somebody can be a manager because he was promoted to the position. Somebody can be a manager because he qualified by study. Somebody can become a manager because it was his quota to become a manager of that place. But something will be missing, in that place if the organization depends on him as a leader, because there are problems he will not be able to solve. There are needs he will not be able to meet. There are times he will not be able to carry everybody along, not be able to influence people. So management also do not make person a leader, but a leader can be a manager. It's always like that. Are we together? However, if a leader is not a manager, does not mean he's not a leader. You can be a leader where you are. I'll tell you what makes a person a leader. A leader is not imposed. The general will say, somebody started a church, I said, when I pass on, then my son will take over. When I'm old, then he pose or a founder of a company just impose his son as the next MD, doesn't make the son the leader. By imposition, you have not made the person a leader. Are we together? Now, by appointment also, somebody cannot attain to leadership. In the church, the general overseer can appoint loyalists, people who relate with him, people who answer to him, who are loyal to him. But the real leaders are somewhere else. They are far away. So appointment doesn't make people leader. You hear sometimes that this man they play partial, this ministry they play partial, and they attract people that they put for better position. Those are appointments. And so the appointer who is appointing is thinking that he has made leaders. So he and planted leaders. I'm calling for leadership meeting. You never know he's calling for a meeting of our appointees, not necessarily leaders. Are we together? You understand me? We'll know who is a leader today, and we'll find true leadership in you today. Leadership is not hereditary. Leadership is not gift or it's not gifted. Somebody is very gifted, very talented, doesn't make him a leader. Somebody can speak very well, and everybody will listen, doesn't also make him a leader. Somebody has gifts, doesn't make him a leader. He's gifted in an area, doesn't make him a leader. But a leader can be gifted. A leader can also express gifts. Skills don't make people leaders. You can go and learn any skill. Talents don't make people leaders, but leaders have talents. Leaders can learn skills. Knowledge, or even as good as wisdom, doesn't make a man a leader. Bro, go and see the real wise men. The real wise men, you know where you see them? Those of us who are older, we know this game they call a appellate draft. It takes real wisdom. Those guys are tough, terrible mathematicians. I don't play that game in the village in those days. It took me a long time to learn it. Calculation. You see people who play those drafts, they have something. Have you had a lie? They have one kind of powerful native intelligence, native knowledge of mathematics. They are very wise. Very, very wise. You see some old men, when they give you counsel, you see wisdom in there, but you don't see any achievement. They can talk, they can counsel, but who are they leading? So even wisdom is part of leadership. But really, wisdom alone is not what crafted. Leadership is much more than that. Relationship also is not what makes somebody a leader. You keep relating with a leader, relating with leaders. After some time, they say, okay, step in, and you step in. Or you create good relationship with people, and everybody fall in love with you and say, all of us, we like this man. He know how to coordinate people, he know how to relate with people. For his good relationship, let him lead us. Doesn't make you a good leader. Doesn't make you a real leader. Now, I want to ask a question before I go forward. All of this I said now, I say, they don't on their own make a leader. Do you agree with me? They standing alone do not make a leader. If not, we'll try it. Appointing somebody over people does not guarantee that that man is a true leader. Yeah, right? A man is very intelligent. We see intelligent mathematicians, intelligent chemists, intelligent medical doctors. Do that intelligence make them leaders? No. But the leader need intelligence. All of the things I've mentioned here, leaders need all of them. But the thing standing on their own can't make a man a leader. That's what I'm saying. Do you understand? A leader cannot do without all of this. It means that leadership is more than this. You have to first be a leader before these things will be useful. These things, they help a leader to succeed. Like tools. These things are tools in the hand of leaders. Now, if the leader is not there, the tools cannot lead. This is standing on their own, they are tools. Do you understand? Now, if a leader does not emerge to pick these tools, the tools cannot work. The tools, if they work by any way, they will become disastrous. If you just see a cutlass moving on its own, electricity just burning on its own, without somebody regulating or controlling it, becomes disaster. Do you understand? So this is our tools in the hand of leaders. They don't make leaders. Leaders use them. So all the above that were just mentioned and much more, they are parts of what make a man a leader, or they are part of the tools that a leader needs. What is leadership actually? What is leadership? In one way or the other, we have been leading. I'm giving a general overview. You know, I told you that I took out leadership. We're going to study here general leadership and then business leadership. So we're laying foundation with general leadership. If you become a leader, if you discover the leader in you, it will help you in business. It will help you in every area. We'll soon enter into the identity and definition. So who is a leader? What makes a leader? A leader is somebody who sees ahead, who can show the way and carry people along. 100% correct. Yes. Yes. A leader is a guide and does not guide people into emptiness, must achieve what? A goal. If there is no goal, if a leader does not take you to achieve something, he's not a leader. He has led you astray. Not a correct leader. Yes. A leader is one that lives by example. We show people correct example. And so people will follow his example. I don't want to blow plenty grammars. Leadership is simply the ability to influence people. You know, there's bad leadership, there's good leadership. I'm not talking about bad leadership now, or good leadership. Leadership. We have one correct leader in Nigeria, whether you agree with me or not. Tinubu. Yes, you can call him a bad leader. Others can see him as a good leader, but he is a leader. He's very influential. Very influential. He has followers. For the past 20 years, he has been building people in the judiciary. We'll see certain things in his that makes him a leader. If we can't get to that point because of our time today, we'll look at him later on. He may be one of the molders we are going to study later on. How did the man get to that point? But the man is so influential. He has prepared the judiciary, he has prepared the military, he has prepared INEC, he has prepared the masses, he has prepared the women, he has prepared, he has influence over virtually every sector of human existence in this country. When he moves, this one move, this one move, this one move. The man is an influencer. Now, the first thing that I want to discuss about leadership is identity. Identity, definition, ability, and courage. Actually, these are the 4 pillars that make a leader. A leader stands on these 4 pillars. Are we together? Every leader stands on these 4 pillars. Identity, definition, ability, and courage. What is identity? You know, the first thing that God gave to the man he created was identity. When God thought of creating a man, the first thing he thought of giving to the man was identity. The second thing was definition before the assignment of leadership. So man cannot lead without identity and definition. Let me veer to religion. And you see, the devil has always been fighting the identity of a man. The greatest fight the devil fights a man is a fight against his identity. You know that once you lose your identity, you will lose your definition, then your life will begin to crumble. Because you understand what God did for man. The first thing that God did for man, in fact, when God proposed to create a man, the first proposal in the hand of man, the first thing in the proposal of human creation was identity. God said, let us make man in our own image. Then next was a definition. After our likeness, we are creative. We have treasures. He will also be like us, be creative and having treasures. But the first thing was, the man should be after our image. Enjoy some leverages just because of identity. Yes. So I said, who are you? The boy said, I am so. Oh, you are the son of this man. Okay, come. And then they did some favor to him. Why did they do the favor to him? Not because he's a human, just a human. Because he bears an identity. Identity can define you. Identity can shape you. Now, that's what the devil fights. You have an identity. You have an identity. Even if we deal with the issue of identity alone today, we're okay. I want you to reclaim your identity. The identity is costly. It's expensive. The devil fights the identity of every man. You know, you have an identity, and you know that the identity is expensive. It was given to you by a great man, and it is expensive. So he fights it. I want to turn it upside down, give you a wrong identity that is inferior. The devil wants to fight every person so so that every person will lose his correct identity and take inferior identity. Because the inferior identity will put you in the wrong location, and you get a wrong allocation throughout the rest of your life. He met Jesus Christ, and they asked Jesus Christ, if you are the Son of God, turn this stone to bread. What do you think he was doing? If you are the Son of God, was there any controversy about Jesus being the Son of God? Satan knew that Jesus was the Son of God. Jesus himself knew that he was the Son of God. Everybody knew that he was the Son of God, but he was challenging his identity. If you are the Son of God, if you are the Son of God, behave in this way. If you are the Son of God, respond to me. Challenge you, talk back to me. If you are the Son of God, and the Son of God doesn't behave this way, doesn't talk back to people. That's not the content of a man who bears the identity of God. I don't know when I'm communicating. He challenges us that if you are the Son of God, turn this stone to bread. Turn this stone to bread. The same thing, the same challenge he gave to Eve. The same challenge he gave to Eve. He bypassed Adam because he knew that Adam was in the correct state with God. He studied, and Adam will not succumb, will not change his identity. So he entered Adam through Eve. He met Eve. If God said you should not eat this fruit, he wants Eve to behave carry a different identity. Behave like one who does not have the identity of God. And Eve fell. If God said you should not eat this fruit, how was eating fruit her problem? The guy was trying to change her identity she didn't know. If you are a man, drink 7 bottles of beer, let me see you. A organizer who came to change my tire went flat in the house. He came, I sent for him. Before he came, it was in the night. He couldn't release the tire in the night, so he came this morning. He said, I beg, forgive me, I forgot come early. I forgot come early. They won't kill me yesterday, we drink. They won't kill me yesterday, we drink. We drink reached 3 a.m. Now I say, okay, I bet I'm give money, I not drink again, man, take money, go shop. He was telling me, I say, nobody won't kill you, you want to kill yourself. I said, you should have died. This side, So I say, come and drink, and he was trying to show them that he can drink. He can drink. His identity now is a drunkard. That's the identity he has. The people already know that that's his identity. They didn't call him for multi-million naira business. Are we together? They didn't call him for multi-million naira business. They didn't call him for meeting in government house. They called him to drink beer in a bar. And he showed to them that that was his identity. I'm a drunkard. As we were talking to him, I was just looking at him and said, you would have died inside bottle. He said, oh, God, I'll not die. He said, when I drink, catch me, now, I run this them. They will call him tomorrow. He has changed his identity. As he talked to me today, I can't even trust him with a business of 10,000 naira. He's a drunkard. He has shown me his identity. Am I communicating? So the devil fights identity. He doesn't want you to lead on earth here, so he fights your identity. So he met Jesus Christ. If you are the Son of God, turn this stone to what? Bread. Can I ask you one question? Can I tell you something? Do you know that Jesus, as the Son of God, later turned stone to bread? You didn't hear me. He fed 5,000 men with 100 fishes. He multiplied the fish to become something else. That was what he is. But the devil wanted him to change his identity. And Jesus just telling him, I say, calm down. He said, you will respect me. You are supposed to respect me, submit to me. You are supposed to submit to me. Do you know you are a leader that the world is supposed to submit? If you get your identity correct, the world ought to do what? Submit to you. You need not tell lies. You did not cheat anybody. That's not your identity. You did not oppress anybody. You are who you are. But I know that every human being is an extension of God. Irrespective of your belief, there is God in you. There is God in that Boko Haram person. There is something godly in him. There is the knowledge of God in him. So whatever that is good in human, I take it because every human being is an extension of God. Even though they are missing their identity, even though they are out of location, which is true, that this body is made up of tiny elements called cells. They are in billions, and the cells die in their millions every second. Every second. You see your fingernail grow up, you cut it off. That small thing that come out of your fingernail contains millions of cells. Do you understand me? Your hair grow up, you cut the hair off. Your skin pull off, and all of that. We have billions, we are made up of billions upon billions of cells, this human body. And with the cells, they die in their millions every second, and they are replaced in their millions every second too. Are we together? Now, the cell, the human body that is made up of billion cells, one of those cells that is so microscopic can be stretched, and it could be as long as 3 meters. And that, you know, the cell is the smallest part of the human body, is indivisible. But here, say it can be stretched, and it will be as long as 3 meters. There is only the human cell that has that potential to stretch. The cells of animals don't have that potential to stretch. The cells of trees and the rest don't have potential to stretch. Only the cell of human body. Are we together? Now, all the cells of the human body join together. If they are stretched, they can be as long as from here to the sun, to and fro 600 times. From here to the sun is over 140-something million miles. To and fro should be about almost 300 million miles. He said they join the cells of human body together, they stretch them. They are as long as from here to the sun, to the moon. Because we did a calculator, it was 90-something million miles and 140-something million kilometers. Now, when I did the calculation, pick my calculator, I calculated 143 million kilometers to and fro. That is times 2, times 600 times. Then I was now like, if I had to trek, let's assume 50 kilometers a day, and it's difficult for every man to trek 50 kilometers. One day, if you do it one day, the next day you can't do it. Even if you do it continuously for the next 20 days, you can't continue. It will take you over an average of 146 million years to cover the distance of the human cells joined together. Now, let me rest their research. Then I come to do my own research and calculation. I now concluded that no wonder we are in the image of God. God is infinite, so the content of man is infinite. You cannot exhaust the treasure that are put in a man. The man who died at the age of 106, if you wake him up today, he's going to achieve more. A cow cannot be more useful than the size of a cow. A cow can only feed about 500 people, let's assume. No matter how you feed a cow cannot feed the whole Nigeria forever. Abi? But one human being can work hard enough to feed Nigeria for the next 10 years. Human being has an infinite capacity. That infinite capacity is actually what connects him to God, want to identify him with God. Therefore, our identity is in God. Therefore, we are God by identity. What is your identity? I am God. That's truth. When I misbehave, I'm not God. When I sin, I'm not God. In righteousness, I'm God. If I'm to do the right thing, God has given me a capacity, I can feed the whole Nigeria. We saw it in Jesus Christ. He sat somewhere, was in a crusade, that people were hungry. I just said, bring food there. People said, no. They didn't know who they were. They don't know their identity. Identity gives you the right definition, the right capacity. I didn't say, no, sir. They were calculating something else. The disciples were saying, oh God, look, even if we bring all our salary for the next 1 year, put together, we cannot make meal that we serve these people just once in the city. Jesus said, you don't know what you are saying. He said, just bring something from there. And thank God, Jesus, what Jesus used to feed the people came from the hand of a man. He was proving the point. He didn't bring it from his pocket. It came from the hand of even a small boy. Am I communicating? They brought it from the hand of a small boy. He just prayed on it and said, give it back to the people. And then, from there, this guy wanted to alter his identity before, but he came to prove the identity when this guy was not there. He said, turn this stone to bread. If you are the Son of God, but he has shown it out as a Son of God, he has the ability to change anything. So, the first thing you need to do in life is to discover your identity. Who are you? I want you to ask yourself that question. No, say it loud. When you get up from this place, ask yourself, who are you? Because when you miss the who are you, that's where your trouble starts from. Why are you afraid? Why are you telling lies? Why are you discouraged? Why are you feeling inferior? Why are you feeling insignificant? Why is inferiority complex worrying you? Why can't you talk in the meeting? Why are you swallowing your words? What's the problem? You have not discovered your identity. So sometimes you want to adjust and take another person's identity. A lot of times you want to wear another identity. You want to wear another identity. Now let's come to reality. Why are you changing your tongue? Why are you changing your intonation? want to speak like somebody else. Is that your identity? Once you miss your identity, you will miss your definition. Why are you speaking like that? Go to the show, everybody want to talk like general overseer. Are you like the general overseer? You are not like the general overseer. But we see things like that, right? Things like that happen. See a young man change his identity because he want to commit sin with a girl. He will start speaking slangs. He will start spending the way he doesn't spend. Want to change his identity because of a girl, because of sex. Guess what do you do too? You change your identity so that you catch a big boy. Abi? And you catch an enemy, you catch devil. When you change your identity. So what the first thing we do if we want to recover our leadership potentials is to discover our identity. What is our identity? Identity. Who you were created to be. Who are you? I ask you that question. Ask yourself that question when you leave this place. Who are you? Who are you? Several times we miss our identity. I would have missed my own several times too, but I've come to a point that I don't mix my identity. You cannot intimidate me to behave in one form. You cannot intimidate me to want to resemble you or dance along with you. Drinking beer, I'm not saying it's bad to those who drink beer, but I don't like beer. You can't give it to me. I won't drink it. I'm not saying it's bad, please. Everybody with his own religious belief. Are we together? Me, I don't drink it. I don't condemn it. But if you come to the church where I am, I'll tell you from my own religious perspective within that context that don't do it. But outside that context, you're a free person. And my friends, they know. They know who I am. Let me still leave you with this. Why I'm saying this is, I'm not saying look for a light to tell to balance up. But there's something in you that somebody cannot rubbish. You have an identity. That's what I'm talking about. It is when you drop your identity, they will rubbish you. Do you understand? If you go to somewhere, people, they blow grammar. Don't be ashamed if you didn't go to school. If you want to speak your broken, speak with confidence. Am I communicating? Yes. So that you want to blow grammar, you make a lot of mistakes. You rubbish yourself. If you want to preach in the church not be where they do English language. If you are broken all your language you want to speak and with confidence. What you have, that's part of you. That's part of you. When you shift ground with your identity, you get everything wrong. Am I communicating? Yes, we have Chinese in this country, right? Some of them are even working in Warri here, right? How many of them are speaking in Shekiri? How many of them are speaking Urugu? If they ever want to learn it, it's just for fun. Abi? Want to learn it, it's just for fun. How many India they tie rapper in Warri here? How many Chinese they tie rapper here? They still maintain their identity. And that's why you know that they are Indians. They are not Urugu people. And you respect them for being Indians. Abi? If they even tie Urugu rapper, maybe they are just doing it for fun. It could just be once in a while. Maybe they want to go to a party just to blend. They will come back to themselves. Am I communicating? They have an identity. That's why you can look at this man and say, this is an Indian man. You can look at this man and say, he's a Chinese man. I don't know what happened to us Africans that we want to just change our identity. I just told you from scripture right now. The devil want to change men's identity. He want to change Jesus' identity. If you are the son of God, behave like this. At one time, he took Jesus to a place. Until Jesus got to a mountaintop. And Jesus was just looking at the whole world like this. And Satan was not telling him, you need to join my secret cult so that I will give you Chevron. I'll give you a contract in Chevron. I'm telling you that I will give you a contract in Chevron if you join this cult. That's why a lot of people belong because they want to make money. They change their identity and it affects them much later. Am I communicating? Why change your identity? Must you work in Chevron? Must everybody work in Chevron? I'm not saying people join cult to join Chevron. I'm just saying what happens in our society. You want to belong. They say, come and join cult. I said I was telling Jesus Christ, I'll give you the whole world if you join my cult. How do you join my cult? Just bow to me. When you join cult, you just bow to the devil. Am I communicating? Just bow to the devil. Just go and sleep in the cemetery. You make money. Just go and do a lot of young men have sold their souls. They lost their identity. The same temptation that comes to everybody, the one that comes to you. But all of this is just to change your identity. Satan took Jesus somewhere and said, bow before me. Join this cult. I'll give you the whole world. I just look at him and say, with my content, I own the world. With what God put in you, if you get your identity correct, when we enter definition, you know that the world is at your palm. Do you understand? There is something in you. The devil doesn't want to access it. I want you to access it so you change your identity. Be who God created you to be. Are we together? When you miss your identity, you will miss your definition, you will miss your location. So many people have missed their God's and location because they change their identity. Let me ask this question again. Who are you? Who are you? Who are you? As if you are asking me that question, I'll tell you I'm God. Yeah, I am. In sinful state, I'm not. In righteousness, I'm God. I am the image of God. I am the definition of God. I'm the likeness of God. Read your Bible. Ye are gods. But you will fall like one of the princes because you refuse to stand as God. In your correct state, you have influence. When you get your identity correct, you become an embodiment of influence. That's the leadership we're talking about. That's influence. Are we together? Be who God created you to be. You have an identity. If you are living in one room, you are not inferior to the person who is living in a mansion. If you are trekking today, you are not inferior to the person who is driving jeep. You will get your God allocation. Just maintain your identity. Are we together? You will maintain your identity. Maintain your identity. You are not inferior in any way to anybody. You are not in any way. So the first thing you get from this meeting today, you want to be a leader, delete inferiority complex from your life. Delete also superiority complex from your life. You are not superior to anybody. You are not inferior to anybody. But you were created for influence. And you will influence your generation. You were made for this generation. Do you understand? Getting your identity right, you are going to get your definition right later. Are we together? So no need to tell anybody lie. No need to be stupid about anything. You know, sometimes you just want to impress somebody. You start exaggerating stories. You just start telling lies so that you feel, no, that's wrong. You are deshaping yourself. You are moving out of your identity. Once you get your identity correct, you get your definition correct, everything becomes easy. Your identity will help you to meet with the right people. And when you meet with the right people, you will get the right definition. Are we together? Now, when you discover your definition, the purpose of your life, you will develop it, and with courage, you will establish it, and you'll be fulfilled in life. I heard people say, if I had known, if I had known, if I had known. You have only one life, and you live it only once. Are we together? How many times do you live the life? Once. If you live it well, once is enough. A man said, cowards die many times. They live many lives in one life. Cowards die many times before their death. But valiants never taste of death but once. Men who get their identity correct, they live their life once. Then they live and they go, they go, they go. If they even make error, they know that's part of life. They correct the sense and they pick up and they go. But you hear cowards saying, hey, if I know, I would have gone there. If I know, I would have done this. If I know, they want to rewind the time and they cannot. You live your life only once. God has allocated only one life to you. Only one. Somebody say only one. Only one. So don't try to live 2 different lives or 3 different lives. Yeah? So people live one life in the church, they live another one in the business place, they live another type within their family circle. But you are allocated only one life. That's your identity. If you understand it and you uphold it, you will not miss your way. God will bring the right relationship on your way. God will take you to the right place at the right time to get the right information if your identity is correct. God bless you. So